The main purpose of management, performance management, which is ultimately communication, is spread towards the employees and the etc., who are all involved in the organization, which is ultimately comes under the communication, how to improve your performance and how the individual do their good work along with the business objectives to do good work when they know what is expected and receive helpful feedback with the available resources. Now people can ask me, what are the what is the main purpose? What are the chief elements? What are the work assigned? What is the framework actually? So here we study in detail about the performance. First you should know what is the purpose. What is the purpose, which is well defined, and what are its outcomes. So how to improve this performance management? So we need to know what are the goals, what are the it start with the introduction and what is the communication and how this communication process by which the managers and the employees work together to plan, to monitor, to review an employee's work objectives and overall their contribution towards the organization. In short, if you think what is performance management, it is simple, it is a continuous process through the communication by which the managers and the employees work together to plan, to monitor, to review of an employee works objectives and overall their contribution towards their towards their plans at the workplace. So simply, if you know what is the continuous process of planning, coaching, reviewing of employee performance, we all study in detail how the performance planning process and how what are the chief elements are included in this performance management. Now we come with the second main important. What is the importance of performance management? See, it is very important in the organization because the regular feedback about the performance, it facilitates it facilitates better communication in the workplace. Not only with this, it helps to identify your strengths and weaknesses. And it also allows for the appropriate opportunities to hear and exchange their views and opinions at the work pressure. So this is very, very important in the organization where you get a continuous monitoring about the employees as well as with the other subordinates, supervisors, etc. And now, what are the main tools for the performance management? Here, the tools are which gives you more supported to our performance management are key performance indicators. They play a very important role in the organization by having 360 degrees feedback. And in the organization, all the objectives and other elements are framed by the management by objectives. So here in this tools, like these tools will give you a better results for the performance management by giving the rewards and recognitions for the employees and employee retention and how the personal development plans are given and how where to go about and how to plan about what to do. So these are the certain examples for the tools which are applied in the performance management. So this is a continuous process through the communication between the employees as well as with the employers. So now how you are going to measure this? How you are going to measure your performance management? Here we have a certain examples how we are measuring through the high productivity or low productivity, and through the profit margin also, and how the scope is framed and what are the costs are, like business can be tracked to determine if the objectives and goals are also bringing together to meet their consequences. So not only this, there are the different areas of a business. Each area will give you it's their own key performance indicators. Like we have a certain matrix. So these areas of by their own key performance will also can be measured in the organization. Now, what are the key elements of the performance management? You can expect by setting through the planning as well as with the monitoring as well as with the developing and improving with the periodical and rating them by giving rewards and compensation. So these are the key elements for the performance management. So this is how we introduce performance and management of an employee, how you have to go about with it. So being a performance management is a continuous process. So we are studied under the different cycles. So we study about how this cycle plays. We have a cycle in performance management cycle being a continuous improvement process for planning and checking and measuring employee performance. Employee performance, it works in a way that align the goals of each employee with those of organization. During this cycle, a manager works with each employee with a better communication to achieve their organization. So we have, in this cycle, we have 5 components like a planning. First one will be the planning, how the planning will be taken care. With the 5 components, based on this performance cycle, we can achieve work together and support each other, resulting in effective performance management. So what are these 5 components? First one will be the planning. What is this planning? Second one is monitoring. What is monitoring? And like third one will be the developing. And rating and rewarding. These are the 5 components of the performance management cycle. Now we'll just have a brief note of what is planning, how this goal should be disclosed in employee setting goals, communicating these goals with them, and how these goals should be implemented, how to communicate, how to go about, depending on the performance management, depending on the performance management process in the organization, to assign a percentage to each of these goals should be evaluate their achievement. Through the achievement, you can evaluate their performance, which enables in the organization to attract the quality employee. So here you can see the quality, not the quantity. You have to see the quality of an employee, how he is starting goals by communicating these goals to achieve with them. Second one is monitoring. So managers are required to monitor the employee performance on the each goal. So with this continuous process gives the right performance management software, which you can track your team to perform in real time and modify and correct then and there by monitoring. So which gives you to achieve your effective results in the organization. Now coming to the developing. And this phase also, you can include the data obtained during the monitoring phase. During the monitoring phase, you can obtain some kind of a data through each and every level of the department. So with this data, you can set the goal how to perform, how to improve their knowledge, and how to do their job by altering the course of employee development to enhance their performance with the sustained excellent result. So these are the component which is which is which is giving you better results. And the fourth one is rating. Each employee's performance must be rated periodically. And then at the time of performance appraisal, these rates are essential to identify the state of employee performance and implement their changes accordingly. That means, example, I can give you 360 degrees. These are the key elements for the performance management. The rating should be done periodically, then and there. So how you are going to reward? So this will be the fifth component of the performance management. By recognizing and rewarding the good performance is essential to the performance management. Here you can have a full-scale employee reward program that regularly recognized and reward excellent performance in the organization. So that is the reason here with the continuous performance management indicates the manager's value. The employees believe that their managers are interested in their work and care about their goal, and any issue may they face in the course of their job also become more open to receive constructive feedback. So these are the 5 key components of the performance management cycle. Now, next, coming to the second one, how this is it clear about, and what are the best practices they adopt? The only way to ensure the success of performance management is to treat it like a continuous evolving process by 3 practices: continuous monitoring, a culture you have to, a strategy should be open to all the employees. Now here we have one important question: what is the main purpose? What is the main purpose of performance management? The main purpose of performance management is to improve your performance. Performance improves, individuals do good work which aligns to the business objectives. To do individuals good work when they know what is to be expected and receive through the feedback with the necessary available resources. And here you can have 4 elements of performance management. What are the elements? Now we have concluded with the components. What are the chief elements of the performance management? So here you can, key element is, first element will be the first one, what is the purpose? Second one will be the what are the outcomes? Outcomes are well designed or not. When performance purpose is well defined, outcomes are also as well as have to be well designed. And third element will be the accountability, how it is nurtured. And fourth one, how the teams are leverage point. So this high performance management tips are holding team meetings, assessing and evaluating their employees' routine job through the description, maintain a routine feedback meeting with the tough performance, with the conversation, making a goal set with the team effort, measuring everything which is focusing on the outcome. And you are going to hire the right talent at the right way, which are well designed. So these are the 4 elements of the performance management. So here we have a development plan. How a performance development plan is designed, how it is planned. So development plan is a tool for improving employee performance. Performance development plan is a tool for improving employee performance. So this, in short, we call PDP. Performance Development Plan process helps manager as well as employees to identify their areas for improvement, for setting goals, for measuring progresses, and what are the outline given in the strategic to achieve their objectives. So performance development plan usually held quarterly and allowing employees and their manager to track their progress and make adjustment as and then needed. So this performance development plan is a great way to improve and measure performance across in the organization, like it is a roadmap. You can call it as a performance development plan is also can be planned as a roadmap, which gives you a free access to move with each and every goal to reach you in your organization. So it is a roadmap for achieving goals. Secondly, it is a strategic employee development. Third one is it is accountability, where you can align better with the team and as well as with the organizational goals and objectives. You can see by putting all these alignments with the team, that means employees and the subordinates, all who are engaged with to interact with the continuous communication process and the process, you can measurable progress with the desired results. So this development plan process empowers employees to direct their personal and professional development with the organization. It is a very, very valuable tool for both managing and correcting performance, as well as sketching your team with inspiring growth to the managers and employees to evaluate their own careers for the effective contribution. That means managers and the business leaders. Business leaders are experts which spread ahead in the performance development plan process with their staff. So this is about the performance development plan, how it takes. to the process by adopting this plan. It is a nothing but, in short, you have to remember, it is a roadmap for achieving your desired results in the organization through the strategic employee development plan. So this is what we have studied under the cycle, how it goes about. Now coming to the next point, how and what are the objectives and how the performance it helps to the organization. It helps to boost the employee engagement and productivity, and it engaged employment to stay for the longer period, actively to involve themselves in the workplace and produce better results. By improving all these levels of employee engagement is the key to boosting productivity and maximizing return on investments also. So we have a model in that it is clearly mentioned what is the performance management role and how it is having the salient features on what are the chief elements are included through strategic terms and goals and values, and how the objective results are laid, and what are the situational constraints through the culture and economic conditions, and how the individual attributes, skills or abilities are. So all this impact on performance management by ensuring employee have a clear goals and priorities for an understanding where their performance falls are raised with the frequent feedback coaching from their managers at the workplace. So through the frequent feedback also, it gives you the effective improvement for your performance through the coaching from the managers also. So being ongoing continuous process between the supervisor and an employee that occurs throughout the year in support of accomplishing the strategic objectives of the organization. And how you are going to measure this? You can measure through the strategic congruence, through the validity, through the reliability, through the acceptability and specifications. So with this, the main purpose of the performance management is through the strategic, second one development, and third one through the administrative. So these are the main components are included in our performance management, how employees get continuous relationship with manager, supervisor, and other subordinates in the organization. So you can see the many approaches in the during the course of action, like how with the behavioral part, through the attribute, or through the comparative approach. So you can have record all these specific examples through the effective or ineffective, with the behavioral or with the organizational, behavior modification. So these are all which the management are led by the objectives. You can measure and evaluate the system to motivate the employees to the higher level of productivity. So these are the main information sources where the managers, peers, subordinates, self, customers are all the main sources for the management, performance management. So these are the main components in the performance management. Now coming to the other main important point is what are the examples? What are the examples of performance management? What are the examples of here you can have, when you are focused on the performance management of an whole organization, department, of an employee, the processes in the place to manage particular tasks. So you can study under this through the stages and how the cycles are divided. And the cycles are divided accordingly. We have discussed just now how they are differ, how they are subjected to praise, performance on a continuous basis, and what is the behavior of the individual as well as the employees, and what is the difference from one individual to another, and depends upon their intent of individuals towards their task. Here one standard is interested in, like, I'll give you one example, like here in this, how the planning and controlling of human performance in the organization. This planning and controlling of human performance in an organization is subjected to appraise performance on a continuous process. How? I'll give you one example. Here, one student is interested in sports. In a school, a student is interested only in sport rather than on the studies. He get a gold medal in sports, so he focus only on the maths, he get the better results in that area. So you need not have to differentiate. The other student is interested in studies, not on the sports. So each one has a different category about their excellences in their workplace. So similarly in the organization also, the employees have a different areas where they stands in the better place. So you have to have a planning and controlling of human performance according. So this is how we plan through the controlling, how. And one more, you have to understand how the performance, you have to make self-assessment of. Self-assessment means like you can have through and what is the benefits of performance management. What are the benefits of performance management. We can have through this, it gives you a first one here, what are the benefits? You can have through create transparency. Here, everyone gets benefits from the performance management through the through the through the transparency. How? Here, based on the performance appraisal management, the promotion demotion of employees will be decided. So this performance evaluation is followed by the compensation. So this compensation is paid for their rewards. Here from the appraisal, employee can know the areas where he is performing good and where he is needed to improve. So based on this appraisal management, the evaluation is followed by the compensation. Thus, performance management creates transparency to the employee. And second one, how to motivate the employee. And this through the appraisal of the employee, the management gives rewards. How? When they get promotion, he gets motivated through the better results, and he also gets the rewards and recognition from the organization. It gives an employee a prestige which creates high degree of motivation in employees. That means to encourage further and future in the organization, and gives you, and it also creates a healthy work environment. When you are motivated with the rewards, it also gives you the healthy work environment also. How? It creates a work environment with the cooperation, team spirit, and they have a trust among themselves, and they can understand their role in achieving organization objectives, and also encourages employees with their team departments, which they have to collaborate their work with the learning orientation. So these all the certain activities created for the healthy work environment. And also it is facilitate career promotion also. This is means of a very, very faster and accurate means of career promotion. It is more beneficial for the employee, which leads for the career advancement. That means it helps the employees in career planning. He'll become the aware of the performance. Like if I do this, I have to look for the future opportunities. So this is how he is more actively investing their skills and competences, which also benefits for the organization. And through the performance evaluation, which is a technique to analyze between their performance, if the management finds any deviation, it takes appropriate steps to correct the gap. As the performance management is a continuous process, from the continuous monitoring, it tries to maximum extend their attain optimum productivity. And lastly, we discuss about the how this performance management act right way to give feedback to the employees regarding their performance, their compensation, their promotion. Based on this, employees get a chance to improve and correct themselves, their behavior towards their duties and responsibilities. So similarly, in the organization, to get feedback on the productivity. When an employee is getting his corrected through the duties and responsibilities, even the organization also get feedback on the productivity, which is low or high. If it's low productivity, he has to make necessary strategic advancement plans have to be taken, and through customer satisfaction also, and how the employee retention, so this etc. All these are the best way for the development for the performance management. So these are the elements discussed to identify the performance management and benefits of the performance management activity in the organization are clearly discussed. Now, what are the drivers? There are drivers drivers for the what are the drivers for the high performance? Here we have a reward and compensation, how the manager reviews and how the development and improvement is given, how the success session planning to do work or not in the same place, and how the position forever. So this is the real situation that the employees need to be prepared for. And how the performance monitoring is tracked, and how the goal settings and targets to meet, and how to understand what is expected, and how it is learned their skills, how to go about. So the managers implement to ensure that everyone keeps their word. Another driver is feedback. Through the ongoing feedback also makes easy to track the employee to know how, if there are any development needs necessary to enhance their performance. So these are all the outcomes in the management. For the best team of employees will get the job done. So if the outcomes can go both the ways, and how the managers must be prepared to handle both, paying accordingly through the performance is the right way for managing outcome. So they all enhance employee performance, knowing that they can earn much more when they work harder. So these are the important drivers for the high productivity level. So these are the how you are going to set goal in the. Now coming to the main point, what is the planning and development? How they are planning, how they are doing with constant monitoring constant. See here, planning process is a strategic process. Strategic means how to plan, how to design, how to achieve the organization. So here, planning is a strategic process. That means it is divided into stages as we discussed in before, like planning, monitoring, developing, rating, rewarding. So how they are going to benefits and what are the examples for the management, how to. So planning and development gives you more and more involve the employee for setting specific objectives, how to measure, how to achievable, how to achieve goals, to plan them, help them to meet their goals. So here if you discuss and what are the main characteristics of it, provides a direct direction to accomplish their goals, and what are it plannings are futuristic, and how to approach protection, what is the systematic process, and how to make a framework, how to be dynamic, what are the future betterment, and what are the future planning in the promotion of teamwork. Here it relates to the organization, superiors, subordinates, or these all planning characters are pertaining to all purposes, like for the organization. For the organization, planning is essential. How to enable, it enables what are the missions and the goals, and how to assist for drawing different plans, and how to provide an alignment of different segments in the organization. This is related to the organization. Coming to the supervisors, how he has to plan, how to assign. Supervisors get clarity on the missions and objectives to communicate with the subordinates, to determine the performance matrices for the supervisors to use in the performance appraisal. And these supervisors take the necessary decisions, how the training has to be taken care with the skills in specified manner. And this enables the supervisor to enable the accountability and of the subordinates. Now coming to the third point, how the subordinates have to plan. The subordinates will get the clear-cut planning, how to clarify the ways and means of performance of the task to be undertaken to achieve their goals. It provides basis for the self performance by providing standards against the performance is measured. First, you have to maintain the standard, then go about with the measuring the self-efficacy. Self-efficacy. Employee can have developed with the self-efficacy. So there are certain general purposes how to plan with the performance management. Here, the performance planning provides in general, if you discuss about planning, it provides a general framework for all the organizational activities. It helps in developing clear role. What are the responsibilities? How you are accountable to all the relationship between the different levels of the department across the organization and how to save the organization resource and how to scan their internal and external environmental factors and how to bring the stability, how to use optimal utilization of the resources. So how are the objectives are laid, and so these all are overall effectiveness in the organization through the planning. It enables the organization to quickly adopt and perform contingency operations against uncertainties. So these are the general planning purposes are, are going to help in the organization through performance. So performance planning is the first step to drive in the organization through specifying KRA and metrics. To identification of skills and knowledge, various activities, internal and external factors, equipping with the needed skills, etc., by evaluating execution of performance and how to achieve these goals, all will be in a planning sequences which gives you for the better results. That means KRA, key results areas, and documenting the indicators of performance. Key performance areas are the part of the job activities where it poses a challenge where employees has to stretching his capability in the process of identifying performance areas for employee as well as employee to be defined in a. So these areas are identified in such a way how to do this work and what are the responsibilities, how manager has to finalize, how to measure current human resource talent, etc. From various sources. Each and every activities will give you the quantitative or qualitative indicators are determined with the key factors for documenting for future performance appraisal. So these are the special key performance areas are led in performance planning, development planning. And there we have a certain advantages and disadvantages of planning and development. It provides the direction, it provides the objectives, it ensures the accountability, and it provides the main focuses how to go about with the perfect execution of employee performance plan, enables to focus on the priority areas, which is very, very important. What are the priority areas which is focused? It emphasizes on the required competencies. What are the actual competencies? So this gap is filled with the help of training provided to the employees. This sharpens their mental skills and contributes to overall their personal growth. So these are the main advantages of the PD, PDP, Performance Development Plan. And we have certain disadvantages also. It is difficulty in prediction. It is difficulty in alignment. If there is a poor interpersonal relationship also will give you, if there is no mutual understanding or agreement also gives you a great disadvantage for our. So there are the, and very difficulty in qualitative competencies also. If you are not understood properly how to plan to lead, this also leads to the negative results in the performance management. So this we conclude the first unit about the introduction, planning, and benefits, and how the planning process, and how. Thank you all. Thank you all.